welcome to chapter 25 of my RX323 Resto videos. This chapter I'm calling the fail chapter. Everything I touched turned to didn't work. So, you'll see this, I do a little bit of electrical work and try and fix all my stuff ups. Try to start the car, doesn't start. Try my oil pressure gauge, doesn't work. Try my reverse lights, they don't work. Nothing works. Anyhow, I start plotting my way through it and doing a bit of diagnosis and fixing some issues that I have created. So, I hope you enjoy it. So I found the wires that run the reverse lights that were originally in the inhibitor switch of the auto. So this is the two wires here. I've just put a little plug on the end like that. So now I just need to hook them up to the reverse light switch. So I've made up this little plug. So that's one little plug there. And those two wires there plug onto the reverse light switch, which are a firm fit. So I've just wrapped some tape around them and heat shrink them and formed them so they can bend around nicely. Now I'll put that in. So here's the plug and here's the little adapter I've made. So that just pushes on there like that, clicks in, and then that just clicks in like that. And there we have it. So let's try it and see how it works. Okay, so as you saw, reverse lights stay on with the ignition on. So here's what I found. So this is the reverse light switch. So it's just a simple on-off switch, but to turn the switch off, it's got to be pressed in. It's not the other way around where it pushes on to turn the switch on. So that's always on, it's contact, so I checked it between those two pins. So here's the problem I have. I measured it with my verniers inside the gearbox, and so I've marked my bench just here. So the gearbox, the plunger where it is now, reverse is all the way here, and neutral is all the way here. So when it's actually in neutral, it's always open. So I need to somehow, there's either something missing from this, or I need to lengthen it to be about that long. So I'm not sure how I'm going to figure this one out, but I will. Okay, so I've been doing a little bit of research on the gearbox, trying to figure out what it is so I can try and fix this reverse light switch issue. And I've been searching the internet, which is sometimes a bit dangerous, but I've come up with this as apparently the gearbox where the gears are is a TQX 5-speed, and it has an RX5 rear extension housing with an RX4 bell housing. Not sure whether it's true, not sure if it's factual, not sure, so I'd appreciate anyone's comments or feedback. Just let me know in the comments below if this is right, so maybe I can hopefully fix my reverse gear switch light problem. Sounds a bit like Back to the Future in here with all that clock going. Anyhow, I've been playing around doing a bit of wiring, and now there we go, the ECU and that fires up. As you can see, I've got wires going everywhere, but this is just temporary, just to see if we can get the thing to start. So I finished doing the power source to the fuel pump relay and the constant power, which is here, going to the ECU. So what I've done, I've just pulled out the spark plugs and I've put some oil in it. So it's about time to see if this thing turns over. So let's just see. Alright, that's a good start. I've got some new spark plugs, so I might whack them in there and see how we go. failed my first attempt at trying to start it and it wouldn't start. Anyhow, let's have a look, see what's going on. Okay, while the battery charge is up on the car, I thought I haven't finished doing the oil pressure gauge, so I might just wire that up. So I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so there's the hole that I cut out. So what I've done, I quickly just removed the instrument cluster. It's quite easy. Speedo cable and 2 plugs, 1, 2, 3 screws, and that just comes out. So I've got my instructions here, so I'm just going to go via the top one. So it's pretty straightforward. So I need an earth, a feed, which is the blue wire back to the solenoid, ignition on, and a power source for battery. Yeah, so I'm going to wire that up now. Okay, on the instructions it says I need positive from battery direct and a positive through the ignition. So an easy way to check, so I've got my test light. I've just popped down the fuse box, which is just up there. So if this light's up anywhere around here, which doesn't there it does. So I've got battery voltage there, so that's good, I know that. So now I need ignition on battery voltage. So if I turn the key on, here should hear the fuel pump run. And if I check, there's ignition on. So if I follow that one, that's the blue one, and the white with the red, there's my 2 different power sources. Okay, so I've spliced the 2 wires, so the positive wire straight from the battery and the accessory wire, I've spliced into those 2 wires now, so I'll run them up back and put the fuse box net back up now. So we've got power net to the oil pressure gauge. Okay, so these are the 5 wires. I've got the 2 earths, the oil pressure sender switch. I've actually just written on there, so the ignition and power, just so they're easy, because I've got obviously 2 blue wires here. Yeah, let's plug them in and see how it goes. Okay, so here's the oil pressure gauge. So this is what's happening at the moment. So when I plug in the feed, nothing on, but the gauge goes all the way to full. So that shouldn't happen. What is going on? Okay, so as you saw, my the gauge goes all the way to full. So that means I've got a poor earthing problem. So I have been checking, so I've checked between the canister, so I put the multimeter on the canister, between the canister and the engine, and there is a resistance. So I did a little bit of research, and what I found is these anodized fittings have bad earths. So I have to run a lead from the body or from the engine to the actual can of the oil pressure sender, and then that'll stop the gauge from going all the way to full, because it hasn't got a port, so it has a proper earth. So this is what I've rigged up. So here's the oil pressure sender unit with the wire going to the top. So what I've done, I just put this little earth wire, but I've got to somehow now mount this up to the can, which is going to look shit house, but it still should work, but not ideal. But yeah, just because of all this anodized stuff, it's not a very good earth. Okay, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked seeing that even I can stuff up a fair bit. This is my last video just for a little while. I'm having a bit of a break while I go get a heart valve fixed. This is why I enjoy Rotary so much, because they don't have valves that give you a problem. So I'll be back in probably 2 or 3 months. If you've got any suggestions, please put some comments below what you think, if I'm doing something wrong, doing something right, just especially with that gearbox. I'm still trying to figure out what that gearbox is. Yeah, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you soon, hopefully. Bye for now.